Hey friends, welcome back to another yoga flow. This one is a little bit shorter. It is all leveled and full body. Let's meet in a Sukhasana, a seated position. So crossing your legs over, just find a position that feels comfortable. Likewise, if cross-legged doesn't feel good for your body, maybe a kneeling position will work. Let's try to lift tall through the spine on an inhale. As you exhale, start to soften the eyes, soften the shoulders. Let's breathe in through the nose again, expand through the ribs and the belly and the chest. This time, maybe a sigh out of the mouth. Let's try that again. Breathe in through the nose. Breathe out through the mouth. Softening the jaw, softening, letting any stagnant energy move here. You can stick with this or you can return to nose breathing. And just begin to notice where your attention is. Where are you holding your thoughts? And if you do notice that they are somewhere else, maybe before this class, after this class, see if you can encourage it to come back to the breath, come back to the sensations in the body. Let's try 2 more big breaths, really landing you on your mat, both physically, but also mentally and emotionally. Next inhale, let's lift the left hand up towards the ceiling. As we exhale, side bend, bending the right elbow, maybe starting to lift the eye gaze towards the ceiling, or the left hand, drawing the left shoulder back. Let's inhale. As we exhale, start to reach that left hand over the right knee, maybe dropping the chest down to the right knee. Let's inhale, open back up. Exhale to reach. Try that one more time. Big breath in. This time as we exhale, come to seated. Take the left hand around the right thigh and gently twist yourself open. Soften the shoulders away from the ears. Lift tall through the waist. Let's come back to center. Big breath in. Lift the right hand. As we exhale, soften the left elbow, lift the right rib off the hip, soften the shoulders. Inhale. As we exhale, reach the right hand forward, drop the chest down towards the knee. Inhale to open back up. As we exhale, do the same. Reach the right fingertips as far away as you can. Inhale to open. As we exhale, take the right hand around the left thigh. Open yourself up. Soften the shoulders. Inhaling, trying to lift tall. And then exhaling to soften and twist. Nice. Return back to center. Clasp your hands behind your back. Draw them over to your right hip. Big breath in to lift. As we exhale, softly drawing the right ear down to the right shoulder. And maybe just turning your eye gaze up and down a few times. This might feel quite intense, so just come back as much as you need here. Let's inhale, come back to center. Exhale as we draw the knuckles over to the left hip and gently draw the left ear down towards the left shoulder and then maybe turning from side to side. Let's release the hands. Let's come onto our hands and knees. Find a tabletop position. So hands underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips, maybe a little bend from side to side. Find a neutral spine. So belly is lifted high, shoulders are pulled back, soft curved in the lower back. Let's take the right toes long. So tuck onto the toes, little rock forward and back. Keep using your breath, maybe starting to layer on an ujjayi breath, the constriction of the back of the throat, sounding like a wave or a snore. And then turning the left toes towards the side of the mat. Plant through the left hand, take a big breath in and reach the right hand towards the front of the room. Lift your hips here. Breathe in. As we breathe out, start to circle the hand back and then scrape or gently touch your fingers onto the ground. Scrape is a very big word. Inhale to open. And then exhale, bring it back down. Let's try it one more time. Inhale, open. Exhale, back down. Reach the fingertips towards the front of the room. Start to lift the right toes off the ground. Then bend the knee. Bring the ankle behind the glute. Clasp the hand around the foot. Just a gentle opening through the quad and the hip flexor. Squeezing the glutes here. Breathe in. As we breathe out, let's bring that foot back to center, back to our tabletop. Let's try the other side. So take the left foot back this time. Little shift forward and back. It's not only opening through our feet, the backs of our feet and our calf muscles, but a little bit through our hands as well, hands and ankles. One more breath here. And then start to turn the right toes towards the right side of the mat. Take the left leg long, big breath in as we lift the left fingertips towards the front. Maybe spinning and opening the heart to the side more. Squeeze the glutes, lift the hips. Big breath in. As we exhale, take the hand back and then forward. Lengthening the fingertips on the ground and then opening back up. Try and make these circles as big as you can, feeling that shoulder mobilization. One more breath. And then when you are ready, starting to lift the left foot off the ground, take the left foot behind the glutes, take the left hand around the foot. A little squeeze of the glutes here, drawing the tailbone down towards the knee. And then when you're ready, planting the left hand back down onto the ground. Well done. Let's tuck it onto our toes. Lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Maybe a little pedal out of the feet here, dropping one heel down, dropping the other heel down. Maybe drawing one shoulder and the other shoulder in. Just become acquainted with this move, this feeling of this posture in your body today. Take one more cycle of breath, maybe finding a bit of stillness here, softening the heels down towards the ground. You can step forward to your forward fold, or if you wanted a little bit more, on an inhale, lift the right toes for a three-legged dog. As we exhale, take a step forward of the left foot. Inhale, lift the left toes up, three-legged dog. As we exhale, take a step forward. So we've got a standing splits walk, trying to use our breath to move us here. But this is just an option, so you can just take a few little steps forward. The foot doesn't need to go high. We are going to meet at the top of our mat. So feet are together or slightly apart. Find your forward fold, your Uttanasana. Soft bend of the legs here, gently drawing the crown of the head down to the ground. Maybe a little sway from side to side. Maybe you'd like to come into a ragdoll, clasping opposite elbows with the opposite hands. Maybe a little gentle bounce up and down. Nice. Next, inhale, bring the hands to the shins, halfway lift, shoulders lift in line with our hips. As we exhale, forward fold. Inhale, bend the legs, ripple through the spine, and lift the arms up and over your body. As we exhale, bring the hands down to the side, Tadasana. Let's start to bring a little bit more breath, a little bit more movement. Inhale, lift the arms. As we exhale, tip from the hips, forward fold to Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, Adha Uttanasana. As we exhale, bring the hands to the ground. Step back into your plank. Bend the elbows, Chaturanga. Knees can always come down. Let's roll onto our belly. Big breath in, baby cobra. Lifting the shoulders slightly. As we exhale, tuck onto the toes, downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Let's try a few breaths here. Broaden across the shoulders, drawing them up towards the back of the spine. You can still add some movement here if that feels good. On your next inhale, let's find our way back to the front of the mat. Maybe just walking, or you can hop. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold. Gently ripple through the spine, lift the arms high, squeeze the glutes. Exhale, Tadasana, hands to the side. Let's try that one more time. Big breath in, Urdhva Hastasana, reaching the hands. Exhale, diving it forward, soft bend in the legs. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to shins, draw shoulders back. As we exhale, plant the hands. You can step or you can hop back through your Chaturanga, bending the elbows close to your body. Baby Cobra or upward facing dog. If you're feeling ready, squeezing the glutes. As we exhale, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Big breath in through the nose. Big breath out through the mouth, let it go. Next inhale, let's find our way towards the top of the mat. As we exhale, Uttanasana, fold it forward. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to shins, look up slightly. As we exhale, fold. Inhaling to lift the arms, squeezing the glutes. And then as we exhale, find your hands by your side, Tadasana. Draw the shoulders back. Let's find our way into our main flow today. Soft bend of the legs. Big inhale as we lift the right knee up. As we exhale, flex the right toes. Draw the right heel over the left thigh. Start to send the hips back and down. Hands comes to heart center. Standing figure four, shoulders pull back. Big opener for the hips here. One more breath. Next inhale, let's start to lift. Draw the right knee into the chest. As we exhale, start to tip from the hips. Reach the right heel back. Find your Virabhadrasana 3, Warrior 3. Hands reach towards the feet. Draw the toes towards you. Inhale here. As we exhale, take a long step back with that right foot. Turn the toes out 45-degree. Big inhale as we reach the hands over your head. Warrior 1. Left knee is bent. Hips try to pull towards the side. Inhale as we start to lean back. Exhale, bend the elbows. Bring the hands behind your back. Clasp the hands together. Inhale, lengthen through that back leg. As we exhale, tip from the hips, humble your warrior. Your shoulders come onto the inside of that left leg. Your pinky fingers try to pull up towards the top of the mat. Eye gaze on your back foot. Let's try one more breath here. Let's start to release the hands towards the ground. Lengthen through the left leg. Now you can either use a block here and bring it on the inside of your left foot. If you don't have one, that's totally okay. Let's bring the left hand to the left shin. Big breath in as we lengthen the right hand up towards the ceiling. Utthita Trikonasana, our triangle pose. So opening that right hip back, right shoulder back, quite light through that left hand. Eye gaze lifts. Next inhale, start to bend through the left leg, revolve and reverse your warrior. So right hand comes down right thigh, left hand comes up and over. As much as you can, try square your hips, but you might need to hop that right foot back a little bit. One more breath here. Next inhale, let's start to lengthen the right hand up, pivot onto your right toes, big breath in. Exhale, high lunge, shoulders pull back. Inhale, reach a little taller. As we exhale, bring the hands towards the ground, step the left foot back, flow through your vinyasa. Tuck the elbows in, chaturanga. Opening for an Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. And then exhaling for your Adho Mukha Svanasana. One or two breaths here. Bend your knees as much as you need to lengthen through the spine. We're not trying to straighten our legs here. A lot of us don't have that flexibility, so we want to encourage the spine to lengthen before the legs start to straighten. Next, inhale, let's start to lift the right toes up towards the ceiling. As we exhale, take a step forward. Inhale, left toes sweep high. Exhale, step forward. Maybe 2 more times up towards the top of the mat. Finding your standing splits, walk. Nice, and bring your feet together or slightly apart. Inhale, halfway lift and lengthen. As we exhale, folding forward. Inhale to ripple through the spine and lift the arms above the head. Exhale, bring the hands to the side, Tadasana. Let's try that on the other side. So start to shift the weight into the right leg, soft bend of the legs. Big breath in, lift the left knee. As we exhale, take that left foot, cross it over the right thigh, press the left leg out. Hips go back, hands to heart center. Every inhale, trying to lift tall through the crown of the head. Exhale, deepen, soften the shoulders back. One more breath. Next, inhale, start to lift the left knee. As we exhale, tip from the hips, reach the fingertips back. Virabhadrasana 3. Left heel presses away, left hip drops. Fingertips along here. When you're ready, take a long step back with the left foot. Turn the toes out to a 45-degree. Big breath in, lift the arms. Warrior 1. Tailbone draws down, hips pull back so they're square as much as you can. Breathe in, start to tilt back. As we exhale, bring the hands behind the back. Draw the knuckles down the left thigh. Inhale here. As we exhale, start to tip from the hips, humble out your warrior. Reach the pinky fingers towards the top of the mat. Soften the chest down. If humble warrior isn't for you today, you can release the hands at any point, or you can bring the chest onto the right thigh. Totally up to you. Let's release the hands. Either bring the right hand to a block or to the shin. Big breath in as we lift the left hand up towards the ceiling. Utthita Trikonasana. Keep trying to lift the belly into your spine so you're strong through the core. Soften the shoulders away from the ears and make sure that right hand isn't too heavy on the legs, so we're not dumping our weight down. We want to be active through our legs and our core to hold ourselves up. Next breath in, start to bend the right knee, reverse your warrior. So left hand comes down the left thigh, right hand comes up and over. You might need to take that left foot back a little bit more so it's in line with that front leg. Try to draw the ribs down towards the hips. Big breath in. As we breathe out, start to revolve. Turn onto your left toes. Big breath in, lift the left hand. As we exhale, sink into your high lunge. Back leg is long. Inhale here. As we exhale, bring the hands to the ground. Step the right foot back, flow through your vinyasa. So elbows come in. Big breath in to open through your upward facing dog. Exhaling into your downward facing dog. One breath here. Next breath in, let's lift the right toes high, 3-legged dog. Exhale, step it out in front. Inhale, left. Exhale, step it forward. A few more. Making your way towards the top of the mat, finding the length through the back of the legs to get there. Bringing the feet together or slightly apart, soften the head. Let's inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to soften. Inhale, soften the legs, ripple through the spine, lifting the arms up and over. Exhale, bring the hands down. Same sequence, one more time, a little bit different, a little bit added on, but one breath per movement as much as we can. Soften the legs, Right knee lifts on an inhale. This time, cross the right leg over the left thigh, either touching the toes down, right foot can lift, or you might be able to wrap it behind the left calf muscle. Gurundhasanara, eagle pose. Left arm comes on top, right elbow comes underneath. Maybe we stay with the backs of the palms together, or maybe we can touch the palms. Up to you and your shoulder mobility. Breathe in, try to lift the elbows. Exhale to sink. Inhale, let's start to unwind, lift the right leg, either keeping the hands by the side, or you could start to clasp the hands. As we exhale, tip from the hips, send the right heel back, find your Virabhadrasana 3. You can touch down at any point. We're just here to play. When you're ready, take a long step back into your Virabhadrasana 1. Either hands are up or they're clasped behind. If your hands are up, big breath in. As you exhale, start to bring the hands behind the back, clasp the hands together, open the heart. Inhale here. As we exhale, start to tip from the hips. Humble out the warrior. Eye gaze comes towards that back foot. Next inhale, let's release the hands. Left hand comes to a block or the shin. Open yourself up. Trikonasana. One more breath. Maybe adjust your feet as we need. Find your reverse warrior. Big breath in. Right hand comes down left thigh. Exhale to soften. Next inhale, start to tip yourself forward. Start to hop onto that left foot. Arms come wide. Lift the right toes off the ground. Ardha Chandrasana, our floating half moon. So left hand can come down to a block if you have one. Otherwise it is just floating. Right hip, right shoulder tries to open up a little bit more. Touch down wherever you need. When you are ready, let's start to tip into our Virabhadrasana 3. So revolving our heart space and our hips towards the ground. Take a long step back with the right toes. Big breath in, lift the arms. High lunge. Exhale to soften. Inhale, maybe baby back bend here. And exhale, bring the hands to the ground. Step the left foot back. Find your vinyasa. One breath. This time we're just going to step ourselves forward into our forward fold. Big breath in. Exhale, draw the chin in towards the chest. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold it forward. Inhale to start to ripple through the spine and lift the arms above the head. Exhale, bring the hands by the side. Tadasana. Last time on the last side. Let's breathe in, lift the left knee, soften the right knee. As we exhale, start to bend the legs, cross the left knee over. Maybe the toe taps, maybe the foot lifts, maybe the left foot crosses behind the right calf. Let's start to take the right elbow on top, left elbow underneath. Maybe the backs of the palms touch, or maybe they can come around the full way, finding our eagle arms. Breathe in, try to lift the elbows here. As we exhale, sink the weight back into the heels and the hips. Start to unwind. Lift the left knee high on an inhale. Maybe hands down or maybe hands clasped. As we exhale, start to tip from the hips, finding our Virabhadrasana 3. Pushing our left heel back, trying to draw the left hip down. So either hands to our sides or they're behind us. When you're ready, take a long step back with that left foot. Turn the toes out 45. Find your Virabhadrasana 1, either hands up or clasped. If your hands are up, big breath in and start to unwind, drawing the hands behind your back. Draw the tailbone down, soften the ribs towards the hips. Inhale, open through the heart space. As we exhale, start to tip, find your warrior, your humble warrior. Let's release the hands. Right hand comes to the shin or a block. Big breath in as we lift the left hand up. Engage through the quads here. Next, inhale, maybe adjusting your feet, reverse your warrior. Left hand comes down, left thigh. Right hand comes up and over. Exhale to soften. Inhale, start to shift your weight forward, a little add-on, little hop, open the arms, and then start to take that left foot off the ground, drawing the left toes back, engaging through the core. And as much as you can, draw the left shoulder back, left hip back. When you are ready, starting to revolve the hips and the heart parallel with the ground. Virabhadrasana 3. Finding your breath. When you're ready, take a long step back with the left foot. Back breath in, lift the arms. Exhale, soften into your high lunge, soften the shoulders. Breathe in, maybe baby back bend. And then as we exhale, take the hands to the ground. Step the right foot back, flow through your vinyasa. Probably for the last time today, I think. When you're ready, let's touch our knees down to the ground. Take the big toes together. Sink your hips back and down. Find a child's pose. Finding a little bit of softness after a bit of heat. Next inhale, let's walk our hands back towards our knees. And we're going to come into our hero's pose. So you can use a block or a blanket or a bolster, whatever you have available, or a stack of books. If you need, you can bring that in between your legs, and that's going to lift your hips up a little bit, make it a little bit more accessible for your hips. Otherwise, if you feel comfortable enough, you can draw the sit bones down towards the ground. Maybe you stay here, or maybe you can walk yourself back. Maybe elbows come towards the ground. Maybe the back comes down to the ground. We'll be here for a few rounds of breath. If you feel any pain within the knees or the ankles, please come out. You've gone a little bit too far. Bring some more weight, some more height underneath your hips if you are feeling that. Let's try one more breath here to really land ourselves within this asana. If you are on your back, I kind of like to bring the hands towards my feet, pressing through the elbows, tucking through the chin, and then rolling ourselves up. If you've got a block or something underneath you, just take that to the side. Come onto your sit bones, take your feet wide, and just gently drop the knees from one side and then into the other. Nice. Let's lift up tall. Let's cross the left foot over the right thigh. Find that seated figure 4. So we did it standing, which was super fun. Let's try find it seated. Find that long spine as much as you can. You can always walk the hands back a little bit more, walk the foot out to give you a little bit more space. Try draw the left knee to the side. Big breath in to lift through the heart. Exhale to soften. Maybe a little bit of movement side to side feels good. When you are ready, we are going to drop the right knee and the left heel towards the right side of the mat. Finding a seated twist, the left foot is going to come onto the ground. If this feels very tight for the hips, you can extend the right leg out long. Let's breathe and try to lift. As we exhale, take the right elbow around the left side of the leg and draw the collarbones open towards the other side. If you wanted a deeper opening, you would take the right elbow around the left side of the leg. Let's find a few breaths here. When you're ready, let's come back to center and swap it out. So bring the left foot onto the ground, take the right foot up and over. Press the right knee out, maybe a little sway from side to side if that feels good. Adjust your feet as you need. Maybe softening down the eyes. When you are ready, we're going to draw the left knee and the right heel down towards the ground. Again, you can always extend that left foot as you need. Take a big breath in to lengthen here. As we exhale, draw the left elbow around the side of the leg, or you can take it up and over. Ooh, that was a big crack through my spine. Try soften the shoulders away from the ears. Eye gaze over the right shoulder. When you're ready, take a big breath in, come back to center, unwind the legs, maybe scooch forward on the mat if you need. As we exhale, gently roll down through the spine. Draw the knees into the chest. Optional happy baby here if you would like it. Maybe wrapping the hands around the thighs, the shins, or maybe the fingers clasp the big toes. And that way you can kind of lengthen maybe one leg out, maybe the other leg out. Drawing the knees towards the outsides of the ribs. Lengthening the tailbone down onto the ground, drawing the shoulders down on the ground as well. If you are feeling ready to rest, whenever you are ready, try and extend the legs out long, or just finding a position that feels comfortable for you. Finding our way into our Shavasana just for a minute or two to rest and give ourselves a bit of quiet before we head out into the rest of the day. Let's take a big inhale through the nose and a big exhale through the mouth. So absorbing the benefits of our asana, our physical practice here. Maybe we start to wiggle the toes, wiggle the fingertips. Maybe doing a few ankle or wrist circles. Maybe any bigger movements that your body is wanting, maybe lifting the arms up and over. Maybe drawing the knees in towards the chest. Maybe rolling over to one side if that feels good. We are going to find a way into a seated position. When you are ready, finishing the way that we started in our Sukhasana. Take your time though, don't let me rush you. Let's take a big breath in through the nose. Lift tall, maybe a little bit more. Exhale through the mouth, let it go. Bring our hands to the heart. Anything you would like to shine a light onto, anything you'd like to give thanks for. And I thank you for turning up and giving yourself some time, some space to move. You don't need long to shift the energy, to shift the vibe in our body, in our mind, and everything. I hope to see you again. Namaste.